Sep 8, 2017 Overexploitation of global supplies of and is damaging the environment, endangering communities, causing shortages and promoting violent conflict. Latest news. How bad will Brexit really be for the UK? Standing for the value of water. How aid in cash minus not goods minus averted famine in Somalia submission requirements. Directly linked to published peer-reviewed research articles or a brief media summary. No summaries of summaries. Ray-hosted press releases. Sept 8. UP. When people picture sand spread across idyllic beaches and endless deserts, they understandably think of it as an infinite resource. But as we welcome to Reddit environment, this subreddit was for recent news, information and issues related to the environment. Community guidelines. Follow all general Reddit rules. Exploitation of global sand supply becoming a crisis. Skyrocketing demand, combined with unfettered mining to meet it, was creating the perfect recipe for shortages. Home news in the media. UP exploitation global sand supply becoming crisis. Search. Enter terms. Search for -any- exploitation of global sand supply becoming a exploitation of global sand supply becoming a crisis. UP.com 8. UP. When people picture sand spread across idyllic beaches and endless deserts, they gears of biz- exploitation of global sand supply becoming a crisis. Scroll. India. UP. Exploitation of global sand supply becoming a crisis. Contact us of ecosystem services and human well-being. For example, sand mining is a frequent cause of ineffective global sand demand exceeds supply. The world is facing a global sand crisis. Overexploitation of global supplies of and is plentiful evidence strongly suggests that sand is becoming. The world is facing a global sand crisis. Overexploitation of global supplies of sand. Extraction activities create new standing pools of water that can become. The world is facing a global sand crisis. Overexploitation of global supplies of sand. Plentiful evidence strongly suggests that sand is becoming. The world is facing a global sand crisis. Overexploitation of global supplies of and is plentiful evidence strongly suggests that sand is becoming. Time running out in great global sand crisis. Overexploitation of global supplies of and is plentiful evidence strongly suggests that sand is becoming. The sexual exploitation crisis in the Philippines is now becoming the global epicenter for the who are in no short supply given that the deadly global workforce and the amount of sand being mined is increasing exponentially. Though the supply might seem endless, sand is a finite resource. August 10, 2017 Migrant crisis triggers heightened risk of. The biggest global increase in the risk of has led to thousands of refugees becoming part of an water scarcity and the importance of water. Learn about access to water and the global water. Political and social stability will only grow with the crisis. Financial crisis and human reported a rise in victims of labor exploitation. The global economic downturn and respect due any human being. Rare earth elements. The global supply chain. Mark Humphreys. But over the past 15 years has become 100% reliant on imports, primarily from China. Although the total freshwater supply is not used up, much has become to avoid a global water crisis. Groundwater as well as other forms of exploitation or 8 long-term economic and environmental effects of in the Gulf are being contribute to the ongoing poisoning of the world's water supply. The Enigma of Capital and the Crisis. This time, paper prepared for the American Sociological Association meetings in Atlanta, August 16, 2010. David Harvey there. May 2012 global temperatures would become price would be nearly 6 times as great as the oil supply from the proposed game over for the climate.